this is stupid, and this is what fucking pissed me off about this chapter, because they pretend like it's a happy fucking chapter, but it's fucking stupid, and everything that is fucking said in this chapter is fucking stupid.
What up, and welcome to another episode of Brotherhood Without Manners, your favorite full spoiler reread podcast of George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire series, starring your host, Nate. Thank you for joining me, as always. Just kidding. My brother here, Zach, is also with me. He's shaking his head. He's going to refuse to be a part of this now. If you have joined me before...
What up, Zach? Fuck this guy. I can't let him host it alone, otherwise we'll get nothing done.
Then it's Brother Without Manners, and that just doesn't sound good.
Yeah, no, that's weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you joined us before, you know we're full spoiler. Thank you for coming back. If you haven't, we are full spoiler. Thank you for coming.
That's it.
There's a fruit fly, and I lost concentration.
That thing, I told you it was going to be a problem.
Come close, and I was going to kill it. But
just grab it and squeeze.
Anyway.
You're a monster.
So, yeah, we'd like to talk about Song of Ice and Fire here. I almost said a Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I saw that. That was good. Good catch.
And so, if you haven't read, go away and read the series. Come back, and we'll still be here, and you can join us. And then you can write in and send us inductees, because we love hearing your thoughts on it. Last episode, we were reading Tyrion 10.
Yeah, and I actually wanted to make one quick little announcement
at the top of the episode.
This episode is out today. I believe today is the day.
This episode is out today. The day they're hearing it
is
the day...
on
well,
the
maybe
same
not the
day, right, the same day that this episode comes out. As far as I'm aware, there should be a special episode also released on the same day. From all the way over, well, it's not that far away. It's just over on the Isle of Faces.
It's a hop, skip, and a skirt.
And so the Sporcle Spectacular episode from the Isle of Faces at Sir Joe Buckley is also out today, where we do some trivia. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, Nate and I go head-to-head answering some questions about the last closing chapters of A Clash of Kings, the book we're currently on. And
closing sentences.
We do closing sentences, and we get tripped up on some. Some we know right away. It's a lot of fun, a lot of laughs. Of course, Sir Buckley is the most gracious of hosts, and we had a great time.
So check out his episodes. Listen, he does a reread as well. The Valar reread is Scraps and Scrolls, and it is a lot of fun. He does multiple chapters per episode. He does very well researched episodes.
Yeah, and we just love him. He's a friend of the podcast, and go check out everything he does. He also, we had an interview with him for his Great Castles in Westeros book, so check that out as well. But look forward to that episode that we're appearing on, and it was a lot of fun. We're not going to tell you who wins, because
you have to listen to it for that.
That's the fun of it. But
yes,
anyway.
Last episode, were joining us, we were reading Tyrion 10.
Tyrion 10.
And so he was kind of dealing with the aftermath of the bread riots, as well as what's happened in the city since then. It hasn't gotten much better. He has learned of the plans to send Tommen off to Rosby.
Yep.
And he makes plans to intercept Tommen.
And see him brought there.
Yeah, make sure that goes through, because
that's a good plan.
It keeps him safe if Stannis takes the city and does execute Joffrey. There is still a quote-unquote Baratheon to hold and fight for the claim on the throne.
And then Tyrion goes and visits his lady Shay, and they argue, as did we, about what Shay wants versus what Tyrion wants. And Tyrion wants to try to bring her into the castle, into the kitchens, to bring her closer. She wants more. She wants to be his lady in public. She wants the limelight with him, if you will. Great song. And they argue about it. He slaps her, and you think that's the moment where she sort of hardens her heart to him and decides, okay, now I'm in it to fuck this guy. But there's definitely a shift in the dynamic. Varys shows up, she immediately sees through Varys' disguise, and
which you saw as something a little shifty, that she's capable of pulling something like that off.
Certainly raised a red flag that she may seem bigger player.
I think it's more of just the line of work. Those people are good and accustomed at seeing past the exterior and somehow picking up on that.
Yeah.
Who knows what it actually is, but Varys gives the news that
Penrose is dead.
Courtney Penrose has killed himself, supposedly, leapt from a tower.
Yep.
this leads to a very fun conversation about magic and the old powers, and Varys finally revealing what happened when he had his man parts taken.
If he had his man parts taken.
Truth. Nobody's actually checked, huh?
I haven't, for damn sure.
I know I haven't. So, anyway, that kind of gets left there. Tyrion makes a little speech in his head about why the people are crazy.
Oh, no, he says it to
he does say it out
Varys.
loud. That's
yeah,
right, my
he
bad.
just laughs at all that remains is he's the only one who's actually trying to fight to save the city. Cersei, all the rest of them are all
Robert,
fighting
Renly,
for themselves in their own power, and everyone hates Tyrion, but he's the only one who's actually fighting and keeping, as he says, the chaos at bay. And that's where we left with
However,
Tyrion.
this episode we are reading Catelyn. And so
Catelyn
laughed. I can't
Wow.
apparently get this word last out. Last we left Catelyn, she was right where she is now, in Riverrun. Not really doing a whole lot. Just a lot of introspection here.
And we were talking about it.
Say it right up front, man.
Yeah,
say it. Get it out here.
This Catelyn 6 chapter, I didn't really like much. I think it's the first one in this book that I didn't.
In this series, because there wasn't a time in Thrones, Game of Thrones at all where you said...
Let me preface by saying me not liking doesn't mean I think it's garbage. I obviously see a lot of significant things in here that we'll talk about. But for me... Cat is getting stale. It's a lot of rehashing the same things, and I get it. She's got some PTSD after the Renly thing, because who the fuck wouldn't? But we'll talk about it. But yeah, she's kind of dealing with post Renly's death, that with Brienne. Robb isn't at Riverrun currently. Edmure means to meet Tywin in the field and fight him, and she's kind of just exasperated by the stone-headedness of men, the men around her particularly, who all want glory and gold and honor for themselves, and there isn't really a prudent thought. She's worried about the trade for potentially Jaime Lannister for any one of her daughters and where that may lead, what she could do there. She's worried about her daughters in general, their well-being. Bran and Rickon, there's been scarce word.
Yeah, but essentially, this is all the same stuff that she's kind of done in each of the chapters before this. But yeah, so to break in, she's starting this one right off with... seeing Edmure off. Yeah. He's leaving to meet Tywin in the field.
And taking all the able-bodied men right out of Riverrun with him. And Cat thinks that she has a larger host than him, though hers is a host of doubts and fears.
Yeah, once again...
Weird flex, but okay.
Yeah, once again, she's just very doubtful of Edmure as a man, as a strategist, as a leader, as a commander, anything like that, which she expressed in her previous chapter.
But she's a good sister here, because he says, tell father I go off to make him proud. And she's like, he is proud of you.
I did like the what Edmure said right after there, though, with the, I plan to make him proud of something more than just my
Give
birth.
him a reason other than birth.
Yeah.
Make him proud of me, which... is actually the motivation for a lot of the men in this book, is the father's pride. All the best cowboys have daddy issues. And so, yeah, Brienne is looking miserable beside her, and Kat's like, no doubt, she wishes she was riding right along with them.
Well, I think it's kind of fucked here, because it does say that, Kat had a bunch of clothes made to her size.
Yeah,
things that
dresses,
would fit her. Nice,
more
pretty
appropriate
things.
to a lady.
But she would much rather sit here in these armors and then in this garb. But, if you put her in those dresses... You're just going to talk Catelyn, of all people, is the biggest shit talker on Brienne and how she looks. You put her in these gowns and these dresses and try and dress her up like something that she's not, she doesn't want to be necessarily. I mean, I'm sure there's parts of her that do want to be that lady, but I don't know. I can't tell.
Plus, it was just a chapter ago that Brienne swore to protect her life and defend her. She needs to wear armor and a fucking sword to do that.
That's what I'm
gowns and dresses aren't going to help. I understand sort of where Kat's desire is coming from. Brienne is breaking the mold. She's a glitch in the matrix. She doesn't fit the formula. So, put on a dress, please. You're tripping me out, you're disturbing my sense. What purpose does then her oath that she swore to you serve, Kat? And so, Kat is being this weird, hypocritical... But Brienne obviously refused to wear the dresses and having that.
Keeps it. And she asked, what do we do now, my lady? Now that they've all
left. I thought an important thing we got, that Sir Desmond Grell had been left to command and defend the folk left in the castle. And all that's left are the infirm, the weak, and the boys.
And women.
And, so Brienne asks what they'll do now, and Kat just says, our duty.
Yeah, she goes on this is why I put that she goes on a tangent
about
here.
How she's always done
that's
her
it.
duty.
It's 2 pages.
She's right.
Her duty. Yes, absolutely.
She brings up Brandon and
Ned.
Ned.
And how Littlefinger, she never even gave a second glance when her father had given her to Brandon. And she claims it was for her duty.
Which I think, again, is an interesting little slip-in, that she never said goodbye to Littlefinger. And, like, that's it. That's pretty much what she said. But Lord Hoster ordered her not to because he didn't want her near her, near his daughters anymore because he impregnated one. And so it's, again, that little touch of the Tansy thing just slipped in there. And then Kat doesn't even realize it. Like, it's there, but she's just like, no, yeah.
Yeah, and then when Brandon died marrying Ned, and then
Bobby B's war.
And now to pose this to you, she says, you know, and when Ned left and brought back his bastard, you know, she cared for Ned, but she claims she's going on this huge thing about doing her duty, but wouldn't part of her duty being showing some love and remorse for that child who doesn't have a mother?
Apparently not to her.
And that's what I think is insane. Like, you're going on and on about your duties, but you ignored this glaringly huge one that you just
she later later in this chapter goes on to think how odd men respond to
with
their
the
bastards.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just men there, Catelyn. Like, you have ostracized this boy because of his mother. And you have no idea who you literally say
it.
In
it could be a Chardane, or she could be some dead person.
And
who knows?
Us believing that we believe it's Lyanna Stark as we do, as the fandom does. You should absolutely care for this. If Kat knew that, she would love this boy.
Well,
as
that's
her
exactly
own.
it.
If she knew it was Ned Stark's sister and Ned
it was
didn't
his
fuck
nephew,
another
but he
woman,
couldn't tell. Like,
she would dote on Jon as Ned does, but because there's this infidelity hanging between it, that Ned Stark, the honorable Ned Stark, broke his honor one time and slept with another woman, and that was it. He's broken his honor nowhere else except with their marriage, and I get that dagger for Kat. I get it where he couldn't keep his vows for me, but he keeps them for everything else.
Right.
And so Kat has this fucking chip on her shoulder toward Jon. And so, she doesn't see it as her duty. No, that's his bastard. That's his duty. And
as his wife. And it's
you would
crazy.
think,
absolutely.
The lady
so it's funny that she just breezes right over that.
I can't remember, one of my favorite scenes in the show is Kat talking to Rob's wife from the show.
When she's making the thing.
When she's making the protection for the kids. And I can't remember if that is a scene taken from the books. But if it is...
I don't think it is.
That's one I'm looking forward to because that conversation about Jon I thought was great in the show. But...
So anyway, she does end up finding herself at the Sept.
Yep.
And
her steps took her to the Sept. She's just wandering.
Which seems to be a very common thing for her because she needed to go to the Sept before she... it was after she met with the Baratheon brothers. She went down to the Sept, and she's just always there. So she kneels at the warrior.
It's
and,
crowded. It's a lot, and she thinks a lot of people need prayer as I do. It's a comfort.
And so she lights a candle at the warrior for Edmure and for Robb.
Hell yeah, she does.
And she's kind of just saying her prayer when the Septon at Riverrun comes walking.
Septon, yeah. She does not know him. He's young,
and he's not unlikable. He does his job well. He gives a decent sermon, but she starts thinking of Septon Osmond.
Yep.
And I believe that was the Septon at Riverrun before this guy. Not the one.
He's long dead.
And she just kind of wishes he was there for her to relay the story of what happened to Renly.
He would have listened at least to...
Given what he thinks.
And not just immediately dismissed it, I think is what she's saying. He would sit there, and I can picture this conversation of like the elderly, kindly old man who's just
it's very
like,
Aemon-esque.
Yes, child. Like, I understand these things are frightful. Here, let me put your mind at ease by giving you a logical explanation. That's kind of what Kat's saying here, is he'd be able to explain it out to me to where I could get some fucking grasp on it. Yeah.
Which then gets her reflecting on all the people that have kind of helped guide and raise her throughout her life. The Blackfish, her father, Ned. Osmond, Ned, and all these guiding men in her life, which, she's a strong chick. Like, it's kind of sad to see her sitting here thinking that she's completely lost without them. Who do I do my duty for now? Like, where do I go? What do I do next?
They always seem to know everything, but now it is only me, and it seems I know nothing. You know nothing, Catelyn Stark.
Yeah.
Not even my duty. How can I do my duty if I do not know what it is? And so, her knees ached as she stands, and she feels no wiser as she rose to leave, thinking maybe she'll go visit the gods' woods and pray to Ned's gods because they were older than the seven. And at this point, she's just desperate. Fucking anything, hear my plea to save my children, fucking end this war, yada yada. So outside, Ryman the Rhymer is sitting by the brew house singing in front of a crowd of Lord Derrimond at the Bloody Meadow. And as Brienne pauses to listen, some boys run past and they're flailing at each other with sticks, and Catelyn just thinks, why do boys love war? Love to play at war.
Yeah.
And Brienne then says that fighting is better than waiting. You don't feel so helpless. And Catelyn reminds her that knights die in battle. And Brienne says...
So right before that, they had a conversation about singing as well, which I just thought was something interesting in Brienne's story to bring up, that she mentions, because Rymond is there, that Evanhall, her castle's keep, always had a bard there, a singer, and that she loved it. Like, she learned all the songs by heart.
I'm pretty sure that's later.
Is it?
Yes.
My bad, dog.
Yeah, that's
that's the other time at the dinner. Yeah. Never mind. Forget that, people.
So the knights die in battle, and Brienne says that ladies die in childbed, but no one sings songs about them. And Katja says that children are a different sort of battle, and I really like that. Not banners and everything, but
I saw it as until you are a mother. No,
pretty
until
much,
you are a mother, but she had it pretty justified. She has good reasons for it, not just a Karen throwing her face around.
So later that day, Maester Vyman brought a letter, and she was hoping it was from Robb or even Sir Roderick from Winterfell, but it was from Lord Meadows, who had named himself Castellan of Storm's End, declared Courtney Penrose dead, and said that the gates had been opened to Stannis, and all inside had sworn their swords, and none had suffered any harm. And Catelyn just thinks saved for Sir Courtney himself.
Poor Sir Courtney.
But she decides Robb must know at once and asks if it is known as to where he is.
Yeah, they don't really have the greatest of ideas, but Maester Vyman's pretty sure that if he sends a raven to, Ashmark, that they can get a rider from Ashmark to go to him in the field.
And last was heard, he was marching toward the Crag, the seat of House Westerling, where he's going to meet his wifey.
This is it. The downfall.
This made me pause. This made me say, skirt, skirt, skirt. Because, full spoiler reread, you've been warned, this is Red Wedding stuff here with Jane Westerling. As we know, Tywin supposedly is poking and prodding with Riverrun.
Yeah.
But do you think that this is all a ruse to deal with something up there? Like, let me act like I'm focused on taking Riverrun and attacking Riverrun while I'm planting the seed of Jane Westerling up here and doing the whole Robb getting married fucking...
So you say that's Tywin's plan? Because this is what...
Yeah, do you think Jane Westerling is a plant to fuck Robb's army over?
Oh, like that she was actually placed? Oh, shit.
Westerling is a Lannister.
Yeah. Well, it's... I don't know, because they're conquering Westerling. Like, well, it's not... So it's...
I'm not saying I buy this theory that Jane Westerling is a, tool to bring Robb down, but it is a theory that she's,
a plant.
Nefariously a plant, yeah. But we get a lot of mention of Tywin's movements here, and so if this is a plan by Tywin, how the fuck is he executing it? Like, is he in the field just sent... Because we know he's supposed to be marching southeast. By the end of the chapter, Cat places him at the head of the Blackwater Rush. So we know he's heading to King's Landing to help defend Stannis against Stannis. But if he's that far south, how is he sending, riders? And is it?
I don't think Tywin's. He that was the plan from the start, because that's why the mountain was placed where he was. That's why all those forces, he had lined this up before he left Harrenhal, I think.
Right.
So he knew where all those attacks were going to be. He didn't necessarily have to be there, but he was there in case when they curled up their fingers into a fist and punched through, that he could follow through with the rest of the forces if able. But I don't think it is her being a plant or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because, again, like you said, the Westerlings are a Lannister house, or Lannister bannermen in there. And Robb is going in to conquer. We know that they're kind of burning that area like they were, like the Lannisters were doing to the Riverlands.
He takes
and I'm pretty sure she helps nurse him to health. Yeah. And it's not
So is it an opportunist where, haha, he married a Westerling? Because there's I don't know. There's just it's fucking Chekhov's gun. There's no way Robb Stark marrying a Westerling doesn't come back to shoot the fucking Starks in the back of the head.
Absolutely.
Be that, I don't think that is only at the Red Wedding. I feel like there's more to Jane Westerling that we've yet to find out.
Well, I mean,
whether that's the Pup of the North theory,
because she lives, right? She does at the Red Wedding. She gets taken captive with Edmure, right? Or she's not. That's right. She's in Riverrun.
Yeah, so she is. That's right. One of the GNC things is that she could be carrying Robb's child.
And so, no, I don't think that she's. I mean, I definitely think she's playing a major role because, again, I'm a big fan of the GNC. Yeah. I definitely think that she's going to be playing some roles, but I think it's purely because the Freys are known to be double-crossers and opportunists themselves. As soon as anybody hears that it occurred, then Walder Frey's going to be sending out messages or, again, Tywin's contacting him immediately then. And so I don't think it was a pre-planned
thing. So you think
thing.
Like Tywin learned about it and like leveraged that? Like,
sure,
you're
especially
my bannerman to the mother of Jane Westerling.
Especially with the amount of Freys and half Freys that are out there to spread that kind of news.
Ticks.
I mean, that's how many Freys are in Robb's army. Yeah. How many of them are there that are contacting,
Yeah, so. I definitely was like, all right, we're getting into the House Westerling.
Now, as cool as he is,
Reading is starting to be built and plotted.
Yeah, I don't think Tywin is the master of fucking strategy.
I agree.
So, I don't think he's thought that far
I think there would be
ahead.
Way too much happenstance for him to be able to get.
Exactly.
Because he didn't know Robb was going to be attacking the Westerlings.
Well, that's it. He needs. They snuck through on the goat trail.
Yeah,
exactly. He would have had to somehow reach out to that specific town, say, "Hey, if he attacks you and he takes an arrow, then put her on him." So that it's I don't think so.
So Kat says, send a letter to Ashenmark and send a rider out after him, see if we can find him. And after Vyman leaves, she mentions Edric Storm to Brienne. She's like, there was no mention of the bastard. And she's not really sure why Stannis wanted him in the first place.
And then she kind of comes to that conclusion.
Well, Brienne describes him. She's like, he was comely, handsome, similar to Renly. A lot of people mistook him for Renly's son.
With the black hair.
And Kat's like, Renly took after Robert. That's what Stannis wants.
He wants to parade him. When really, I'm pretty sure this is his want is for the king's blood, for the blood magic to kill the kings.
Catelyn is one of two people on the planet who have witnessed Stannis' use of the dark powers, and yet she's still willing to describe it away as he wants to parade him to prove Joffrey's.
Well, what's almost funny is that was Stannis' original plan, was to get Edric and do that. And then all of a sudden the blood magic, the shadows started popping up and killing people, and we don't learn for a bit, technically, but full spoiler, that it's the king's blood in these rituals that is causing it. So they get Edric, and...
So, is Stannis, an allegory for an addict? Is he addicted to it at this point, you think? About having that loaded gun of I can send a shadow deep beaming out in the world to...
I don't think so.
You don't?
Well, because...
He fucked up, and I love... Stannis fucked up by not listening to Davos and going and attacking King's Landing when he said...
No, absolutely.
He did that for the King's blood. Fuck what Kat says here. He did it for the King's blood. He doesn't care about parading Edric Storm. I mean... Yes, he does, but he knows that's fickle. He wants the king's blood because he's seen it work now. And so I think he's addicted to it. I think he's addicted to that loaded gun.
I think it's not
now that. Penrose has worked. Renly has worked.
Because the plan wasn't... I mean, he needed Edric, but the idea for him, and I took him at his word and still think that that's accurate, it was for Storm's End. He couldn't leave because he would be defeated.
Yeah.
And so I don't think it has to do with needing to use that magic, because he's so drained, he has the nightmares, he doesn't like it.
Well,
it's a means to an end. I mean, that's who knows?
He's so drained.
I don't think it's an addiction thing. I think he's drained from the magic. He's using it because it will accomplish what he needs, and it's proven to be successful.
Yeah.
But I don't think he likes to use it. I think if he liked to use it, then Shireen would have been dead a long time ago.
See, I think there's a difference between...
I think Davos...
But that's it. An addict doesn't start by stealing from their family on day one. It's a slow build. It's a slow build to... No, let's wait here and let me take Storm's End... Yes, I'll pepper it with these sweet I can't be defeated because men fear me thing. But really, I want my fix. I want this.
Well, that and he drags his feet with Edric to where Davos is able to get him out of there.
Because Stannis is a man of convictions. he's acting like an addict. He justifies his actions.
I mean, I'm not saying he's not making similar things, but I don't think he's an allegory for addiction.
Well, no, I don't think Martin is legit saying like, oh, he's. But I think Stannis is treating Melisandre's power and what she can provide him sort of like an addiction, where this Edric Storm thing especially just seemed to be a mistake to me. And
yeah, I just don't think he's doing it nearly as often. It's only the 2 times.
It's only the 2 times.
So I don't think it's
still.
And how much time do we span? Like, I don't see it as an addiction at all.
I think it is. I think it's a power thing. I mean, as good as and true as Stannis is, I want him to be the king. I think that this is.
I think he's bad in other ways.
Him,
I just don't. Yeah, I don't think it's anything. I don't think it's anything to do with addiction.
What you think.
Yeah, I think they do.
Anyway, so Kat says that those who favor Stannis will call it proof. Those who favor the Lannisters will call it bullshit, and that's pretty much where it'll end. And she thinks of her own children, how most seem to favor the Tully more than the Stark,
except for Arya.
Oh,
also. And the bastard.
But he was never mine, so. But she finds herself thinking of Jon Snow's mother. Does she grieve for Ned as I do? Or did she hate him for leaving her bed for mine? Does she pray for her son as I pray for mine? They were uncomfortable thoughts and futile. If Jon was born of Ashara Dane of Starfall, as the whispers claimed, she was long dead. Or else it made no difference now. Ned was dead, and all of his secrets along with him.
Man, that's a heart-wrenching one.
I love the Ashara Dane fucking red herring in there, man. Of just, it makes so much sense that it would be Ashara Dane.
And just the, because she doesn't want to believe that she's able to put a name to it, I think her being able to put a name to this woman makes it that much worse.
Well, then, you have the woman picture of.
And so, it's a very good plant by Martin to fucking draw you over that way.
And then that Ned was dead and his secrets along with him is just a goddamn... Yeah,
dig that knife.
If Ned could just sit down with his family and be like, all right, here's the hips.
Yeah.
Here's the haps. And
I feel like Catelyn would, look Jon in the eye and just, my bad.
Yeah,
bad.
Yeah, I think it would...
My bad.
I think it'd break her where she'd be like, I'm sorry. Like, I couldn't love you because I didn't understand, and now I do, and get in here,
my
bro.
bad, my bad. But that's when she starts thinking of bastards, and like you had mentioned earlier, how men are so weird when it comes to their reactions towards bastards, like Courtney Penrose refusing to give up Storm's End and Sir Edric Storm dying for him. And it's not even
fiercely protective of Jon.
But on the other hand, recently she had received a letter from Roose Bolton, who was saying that he is marching on Harrenhal.
As he was commanded, yeah.
And while they see that it's going to be a difficult task, they will take it. He assures them he will take it.
If I must kill every living soul within to make it so.
If nothing else but to correct the crimes of his bastard, who was slain by Sir Roderick. And
a fate he no doubt earned, Roose wrote. Ramsay's nature was sly, greedy, and cruel, and I am well rid of him.
And he even states that his true-born sons would not be safe with him alive.
So, my question is...
Does Roose know? I don't know. It's really hard to say here.
I don't think so.
I also don't think so just yet. I think that because he's sly and because he knows what he looks
he's
like,
yeah, sure, I'm well rid of him. Cool.
But at the same time,
when he finds out later, he's like, oh,
all right, we got the Lannisters with us. I can use this. Yeah. Like, all right, good. Yeah. Like, if that's how it is.
But as we know, full spoiler, Ramsay is not dead. He switched with Reek and is playing the part of Reek at Winterfell, who Sir Roderick didn't want to kill because he saw all the shit that Ramsay did, quote unquote, and so he'll be able to testify against the bastard's crimes. But we know that is actually Ramsay who disguised himself as Reek. So,
but she's interrupted from her thoughts here and thinking about that letter by Sir Desmond Grell's squire.
I love this moment because this kid just burst in. And he's like, "My lady, Lana," and she's like, "All right, take a breath, and then say it." And it's just such a humanized,
and
such
she
a mom
grabs him by the elbow. She's like, "Now walk with me."
Yeah, she's so chill and calm. She's like, "All right, breathe, catch your breath, now fill me in." And he says that there are Lannisters a column of armored men flying a purple unicorn under the line of Lannister, and she thinks some son of Lord Braxton. And as they're climbing up, she recalls that one of the sons had come to Riverrun to ask for her or Lysa's hand, and her father denied them, and she's wondering if it's that same son now coming to attack. But as they climb the battlements, the squire tells her that Tywin's main strength is well to the south, so they are still far from danger.
And that these are just some outriders kind of just poking through.
Yeah, so they get to the watchtower and Cat could see for miles, and even so, only the nearest ford is visible. Edmure had left its defense to Sir Jason Mallister, and there were no more than 50 Lannisters milling about the area kind of awkwardly, and then they spread out in a long line and made a brave show of crossing the water before Jason Mallister's men.
Yeah, just fucking.
She hears Brienne mutter, "Now, no," like she's like, she's in it.
Well,
she's
she's calling it, when it's happening.
Yeah.
She's like watching. She's like, now's where they're attacking.
Yeah.
Boom. Yep. Down. And then not too long goes by before they start seeing some of the Lannister's bodies
it's hard to
floating
see.
down the
They
river.
can't really see anything, but they begin to hear horses scream and some clash of steel on steel. But yeah, then soon the first dead man drifted past their walls, pulled by the current. The Lannisters regrouped and then galloped back the way they had come.
See ya!
And there's shouts and whoops calling at them from the walls, but Desmond is thrilled. He's like, fuck yeah!
Yeah, he's telling, everyone, the host Tully would be up here fucking dancing if he could see this shit, like, get them, boys! Yeah. But Cat's like, no, he wouldn't.
He's never gonna dance again. But she says they're gonna come again. And Tywin has twice Edmure's number. And Desmond's like, bitch, numbers don't matter. We got the river. The river will hold them. And she's like, I pray you're right, dude. And so as Catelyn drifts off to some sleep before she gets awoken by the next attack, we're going to convene our small council and just give you the details on our stuff.
Yeah, the usual stuff. So we'll see you on the other side. This is the small council that never ends.
I hope that's not true.
Yeah, me too. It could go on forever.
What's up, dudes and ladies? And
anything in between?
Yeah,
whatever.
What's going on? This is just where we want to get you our socials, let you guys know where you can write us in, send us your inductees, thoughts, feelings, opinions, whatever you feel like sending us. We are all over the socials. You can reach us on Twitter. I'm on Twitter at Carstark92. Nate is on Twitter at Manners Without, which also happens to be the Instagram.
And those are the only two that actually match. The rest are all something else. We do have our YouTube is pretty prominent. You can go on there, search Brotherhood Without Manners. We pop right up.
Hey, you know what? Head over to YouTube if you want some really interesting fucking discussion, because it's popping over there.
Yeah, so speaking of, on our last Catelyn episode, we got some chatting done from Stephanie, and she was just talking about Cat calling the small folk useless mouths
Savage.
Is quite merciless, which makes me think of Mother Merciless, another name for Stoneheart, which a complete inversion of Gentle Mother
Gentle Mother, Font of Mercy.
Thank you. My eyes blurred out a little bit.
Mother,
yeah. God, I love Cat's character and how incredibly layered and human she is.
Sorry, Nate, butchered that, but I applaud it. I love it. I did not actually. The Lady of Stone is fucking great, and a great little simile there for her savagery, toward the small folk. And does that carry over to Stoneheart is the interesting part.
Yeah.
But
thank you, Stephanie, for chatting with us on YouTube. Yeah. So we also have our Facebook, facebook.com/Brotherhood Podcast. That's where we usually just send some updates, let everybody know when the new episodes are out and how often you can find them. Every Monday and Thursday. Because we never say it, and so we're starting to do that now.
Or one of the easiest ways to make sure that we see what you're writing to us is to just email us at withoutmannersbrotherhood@gmail.com. Mm-hmm. That's where we get most of our inductees, and both Nate and I check it pretty hourly. So,
yeah, pretty regularly.
Yeah, you can definitely reach us there. We also have a Patreon.
Yeah, Patreon, which has a couple different levels of tiers. The highest level grants you early access when I'm able to get early access to episodes. It gives you all the Patreon-only episodes, the Winds of Winter sample chapters. We have one left, which we are recording I think tomorrow night. So the day this actually comes out or something
I'm
like
fucking
that.
hyped for it.
Yeah, it's a pretty sweet chapter. Tyrion 2 of Winds of Winter. You can also get access to the private Facebook group.
Oh, shit.
And it's pretty cool over there.
You get
It's popping.
some early announcements. The Facebook group was privy first to our appearance on Isle of Faces in the Sporcle Challenge. We had
Because
dropped
they
that
get the
information.
secret missives,
Yeah,
you know? They're in
'cause
on the council
They're
meetings.
just super fucking cool. And
Great
we
people.
just we're having a great time in there. So you should want to be a part of it because it's just dope.
You know, so if you could leave us a rate and review, do that wherever. Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, you can't leave reviews, but, you know, go listen to us there. Go to Google Podcasts, Podchaser, you know, there's a million different places. Leave us a review. If we find it, we'll read it. We appreciate it. We love you. Get back to Catelyn's chapter.
Just remember to stay inside until the government says not to.
Oh, yeah, don't die from COVID.
We don't decide when the quarantine is over. They do. They just wash your hands.
And wear a mask, man.
Where the fuck do we stop? Right there.
Cool, and that's how we're starting
Oh,
this.
shit. So that night, the raiders, the Lannisters, came again, and Cat had commanded that she be awoken at once if the enemy returned, and shortly after midnight, she was. So wrapped in a bedrobe, she climbed to the roof of the keep, and from there she could see everything.
It's like waking up in the middle of the night on a day you forgot was like a holiday, 4th of July or New Year's, and you go out and there's like fucking fireworks and you're like wrapped in a blanket at midnight, like, yeah, man, this is cool. Only it's people being murdered in the middle of the night.
Absolutely.
But, you know, by bonfire.
America. Yeah,
that
definitely
sounds
sounds
right.
like an American tradition.
Definitely.
So watchfires had been lit all along the banks, so if the Lannisters thought they were using darkness, fuck out of here with that shit.
Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
And a few Lannisters, as they begin crossing, are immediately lost in the water, pulled under, and just swept away. And Malister Bowman sent out a storm of arrows, which Kat, in the firelight, thinks is just one of the oddliest beautiful things she's ever seen. This just swarm that comes over.
And now I just hear, America. It's just it's fucking
bombs bursting. I also just want to point out, Julian, who gave us an inductee for this chapter, pointed out that this reminded him, and me as well, of the Season 8, Episode 3 episode part where the arrows fly in the darkness of the Battle of Winterfell, and how cool that was. And I thought it was very similar to that.
I was thinking more of Blackwater, the way that the water is here, and I'm gonna fucking slap you with that shit. I forgot what I was saying.
Yeah, good.
The arrows over Blackwater when they're shooting out over the water towards the boats from the castle. Just that similar image of the light and the water.
Well,
and
mine
arrows.
and Julian's is better.
Yeah, what else is new?
When the fighting ended, and the foemen had retreated back into the night, Catelyn thinks, a small victory, yet a victory nonetheless.
Yeah, and as she's descending down the stairs of the battlement's turret that she was on, she starts talking to Brienne, asking, like, so, what the fuck happened out there?
He's just fingering us, my lady.
Oh my god. You've been holding that all day.
He's just that's just his fingertip, my lady.
He's just brushing us.
Can you feel it?
So, she explains that Tywin right now is probing
Yes, he is.
With his forces to check for weak points in the wall.
Julian said I can't make fisting jokes anymore.
So you're going to make fingering jokes
well,
instead?
Brienne's providing the ammo.
All right. So she does have big, thick knuckles.
Thick knuckles. Tywin is, she says, probing for a weakness. He's checking for weak spots, and if he can't find one, he's going to curl those fingers into a fist and make one.
I just really liked her metaphor there. That this was just his finger,
but
my
then
lady, and he's just brushing.
It kind of breaks my heart in the same, because she's confident that she's like, nah, this is what he would do, and then she's like, she shrugs, and then she like kind of just gets like
dejected,
abashed and like, I shouldn't have said that. Like, and it's like, no, Brienne, you're right. That's what Tywin's doing. He's trying to fucking find the weakest, least defended spot on the river and fucking break through.
And so that doesn't get confirmed just yet. The next morning, because that's pretty much where they end that. Cat wakes up and hunts down Euphrates Wayne. And she orders him to have some wine sent to Cleo's Frey.
Fuck yeah, get him
Get
good and
that
drunk.
boy swifty.
She wants his tongue loosened when she visits him later.
I hate your face. I hate your face right now.
They're doing it. So Not long after she had ordered that, a rider arrived from Lord Jason Mallister reporting of another victory further up, as well as the victories of Sir Carl Vance, who had turned away a bunch of different
further
routes.
6 miles south from there.
And she begins to think that perhaps Edmure was wiser than I knew. All of his captains agreed to his battle plans.
Now, I think that this is important, not just for Edmure and Catelyn, but part of when she was talking about how she doesn't have those men to follow. Like, hey, first of all, you don't need no man. No, Robb is like, as she's mentioned repeatedly, he's making decent decisions. He's got strong men around him. He's got advisors. I'm advising him, but I'm not trusting his decisions. Edmure, it's just, and that's all I think it is. She's seeing it as her son and her little brother.
Yep.
And she's finally questioning that. Not that I think there's anything wrong with her questioning some of their decisions. And, that's definitely what helps prevent you from making stupid decisions, is question them all. But doesn't mean you can't think that they're capable of at least making a decision.
Isn't this Edmure's fucking up, though?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Edmure's a fucking idiot.
The stone mill was a fuck up. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, yeah, no, she's right. Like, and I hate that she's questioning, because she says, my brother is not the little boy I remember no more than Robb is. And, like, I understand the sentiment that she's thinking there of, like, I can't think of Robb as this boy. Yeah. Same thing with Edmure, but Edmure's a fucking idiot.
Oh, yeah.
Edmure's
he really
fucking
is an
idiot.
Yeah.
And this is wrong. he took men from the fucking twins that were no. This is not a good moment. These victories are not fucking great.
Well, that
victories.
gives the phrase the opportunity to now plot against them once they hear of the Westerlings. So
and
this is
as
a big
we'll
part
learn from Robb, he wants them to break through and get trapped.
Exactly.
And now they can go and help fucking defend King's Landing.
Yeah, now they can't.
Like, it fucks everything up. This is stupid, and this is what fucking pissed me off about this chapter, because they pretend like it's a happy fucking chapter, but it's fucking stupid, and everything that is fucking said in this chapter is fucking stupid strategically.
I am wonderfully thrilled now, because we finally got to the heart of the problem. Mr. Zach here claimed he hated Catelyn's chapter. It's just more Edmure rage. He's just got more Edmure rage. He's just fucking livid about the fact that Edmure's doing stupid shit once again.
No, because now we're getting into my favorite part of the chapter, which is the talk with Cleos Frey.
Well, now you're all hyped up because you Edmure rage.
Fuck Edmure.
His adrenaline's growing. No, Edmure fucked up here. I was just pointing out she
definitely
refuses. She's looking for those men to help lead her, but she's willing to refusing to allow a man to lead her, to help her or become that leading position. And I think it's just it shows really the dynamics of the character, how complex she
needs
is.
To see
but
Robb the king and the man, and Edmure the dumbass,
the lord,
the man.
technically, but. Yeah, no, he's making poor decisions because he wants to make Daddy proud.
Yeah, I mean, I get your motives, dude, but fuck. So, she waited until evening because she wanted them to be good and drunk before she called on Sir Cleos, and as she enters, he immediately falls to his
lady,
knees.
I knew nothing, please. I didn't know. The imp said he needed a Lannister
and she's
escort.
Like, Rice? And says, I know no grandson of Walder Frey would be an oathbreaker. And then
unless it served a purpose.
Like low-key shade. And then tells her, so she's like, yeah, you brought peace terms? What are they? And he tells her. And she's like, these are, she's pleased to see how unsteady on his feet he is. He's clearly
he's
drunk.
wobbly.
But when he tells her, she's like, these are no fucking terms at all, except, and then she asks if Tyrion had sworn the return of Arya and Sansa for Jaime, if he had sworn it in front of witnesses. And Sir Cleos Frey, he swore it in front of all the court.
And then she even mentioned Cersei. And as you recall, our listeners here, Cersei was out with the flu. Yeah. Forced flu by Tyrion because he poisoned her and gave her the shit so that he could make these claims and do what he was doing that day.
So she's like, yeah, but Robb wouldn't have it, and she knows it, and rightly so. Jaime is dangerous to have free and not worth Arya and Sansa. But she asks if Sir Cleos saw the girls and if they're all right. And she immediately sees that he is fumbling for a lie.
He's trying. She's like, motherfucker, you completely surrendered your peace rights when you made an attempt.
When this bullshit happened.
So I can hang you right now.
And she says, believe that. She's like, I'll have you hanging from the walls. Believe that.
Oh, gee, shit.
Yeah, you best believe that.
Don't even fuck.
I love it. And then she's like, have you seen my daughter? She asks him again. And he says, I did see Sansa that day in court. She looked a little withdrawn, but okay. And she says, thanks Sansa, but not Arya. that could mean everything or nothing.
Yeah, because obviously Arya's so wild that Cersei could just have her locked up constantly.
Afraid of what she may shout in court.
Say, or
they might have just outright killed her. But she pushed that thought away, and then, thinks on Tyrion and the Queen Regent, and thinks that Tyrion is... And I like it because she puts it together that he went from her prisoner at the Eyrie through the mountains of the Vale. She had no fucking idea how he survived that. And now he's sitting with more power than Cersei.
Yeah, the Queen
King's
Regent.
Landing. Yeah. And she thinks he is too clever by half. But he did have no part in Ned's murder, at least. And he came to her defense when the Klansmen attacked.
Yeah, so I think it's funny also...
She's contemplating trusting his word.
Yeah, since Game of Thrones, she said that Tyrion is too clever by half. That exact phrase. He's too clever by half.
And now she saw his fucking meteoric rise
and that's
to
it.
power.
After seeing the way that he did come to her aid, and he was so vehement in his, I didn't have anything to do with your son, like in the dagger. And then obviously not even being present for Ned's death. And yet, here she immediately turns.
It's Littlefinger's poison.
And it's just that's the dagger.
Littlefinger's gift here is the little
distrust.
drop of poison, the seed of distrust that he puts in people's mind that spreads. And she looks down at her scarred hands. His dagger's mark. In the hands of a killer he hired to open Bran's throat. And she convinces herself he lied. And she stands up abruptly. The Lannisters are all liars, and the dwarf is the worst of them. And she leaves. And I love it because Cleos is like, I know nothing of any lie. And she's like, right, you know nothing. And leaves. And you know nothing.
Yeah, I thought that was funny too.
As Brienne immediately is beside her, silent, and she eats late.
So there was this little line right there that kind of stuck with me, that she looked at Brienne and thought, Brienne's kind of lucky right now because she doesn't have those womanly, motherly worries. And I just think it's very not funny. It's kind of sad that women are forced into that position, but she's almost jealous of Brienne right now because Brienne is more man.
Took this simple route of fighting.
Yeah, being a man, not worrisome. And it's, again, like that she didn't ever have that option to try to do that kind of stuff.
Children are an entirely different battle.
Yeah, and I just thought that was an interesting line that she mentions that.
So... Yeah. She had a late dinner with her garrison to offer what encouragement she could, and Ryman the Rhymer sang all through it, ending with the song that he wrote about Robb's victory at Uxcross. And she thinks, let them have their songs if it makes them brave. But this is when Brienne recalls a singer from her childhood with a beautiful voice that Brienne memorized.
And she was from Lys, I think, or somewhere like
across
that.
Across the narrow sea. And Brienne actually says she couldn't place the accent, but
or the words.
When she was little, she used to memorize all the songs, and Catelyn's like, yeah, Sansa used to do that as well.
That right there. That's the part that I think is very important.
Brienne is a romantic.
Brienne is Sansa.
Yeah.
If Sansa wasn't pretty.
She wants the stories to be true. She fucking... women die in childbirth, but there's no songs about them.
Right.
And then when she first meets Brienne at Renly's camp, she talks about the songs and dying in a song. We'll die in a song and we'll live forever.
Yeah, she's just this, like you said, a romantic.
Yeah.
She just wants this. She lives this childlike dream, of knights and honor, and she's kind of the opposite side of the coin of the Hound. It's, they're basically the same person, but with different ideals.
Yeah, two different extremes.
And and it's just, I just think it's super interesting that of all the parallels to make, Brienne and Sansa are just so close, regardless of how terribly opposite their appearances are. Their ideals and what they want. I mean,
Brienne and Sansa are the Harry and Neville. Their stories could be identical if just for one little switch. And Brienne, I mean, she just physically armors herself. That's her defense.
Right.
She, I think, and I truly do believe, and I don't mean to take away from Brienne, but I believe Brienne wants to be swept off her feet by
absolutely.
a knightly man who thinks of her beauty and toughness as something desirable, as the fact that she can be independent, but I still think she wants that to swoon a little bit.
Yeah, regardless of how much she fights that wants.
Yeah, she does want to swoon, and I think that's where the Jaime thing comes up, is Jaime is gallant, is handsome, is everything the songs fucking sing about.
Except for the
hero,
honor, as far as she knew.
Honor.
Until she starts learning about it.
Until she learns about him. And so it's this interesting, Sansa and Brienne parallel that I've never really picked up before, but I love.
But yeah, so Kat mentions that, or asks
she starts asking her
did
to
you ever sing for your
her?
father first? And she was like, oh, no. Like, I
have no voice for it.
Yeah, and that's the same
and
thing
Kat
she tells
keeps
Kat.
pushing, and it's like, well, you should sing for me. And it's like, Kat, she straight up said she doesn't fucking sing. And then Brienne gets like uncomfortable, and she's like, nah, do I have your leave to leave? And Kat's like, yeah, sure. So she leaves, and like, yeah, that was a weird exchange for me. Like, Kat, like, she didn't say she fucking sings, so why do you keep... But I digress. Anyway, Kat was sitting with her father when Edmure's messenger arrived.
Yeah, 3 days later, it was what Brienne predicted, but 5 days was when they received the letter from Edmure.
The look on the messenger's face said that the news was good, and as he kneels handing her the letter, he says, "Victory, my lady." And she opens the letter and reads that Tywin had tried to force the crossing at a dozen different fords.
Yes.
Lord Lefford had been drowned. Strongbow from Crakehall had been captured. Adam Marbrand had been forced to retreat 3 times. Get fucking wrecked, Adam.
Get out of there, bitch.
But the Stone Mill was the fiercest battle. Not the Stone Mill. Stone Mill. It's a location, not the Stone Mill.
Yeah.
Sir Gregor Clegane himself had led the assault, but was shattered by Edmure's reserve. Gregor himself had to retreat bleeding and horseless as a storm of arrows followed him back across the river.
What a fucking monster, man.
And he just wrote that they'll sing songs about it. Basically, they can come and attack as much as they want. They shall not cross. And again, Desmond is over the fucking moon.
Yeah, and he says that they should write songs and sing songs about this. And Kat's like, there's no singing until the fighting's done. And this isn't over yet, brah.
But that night, she gives it to him, and they celebrate.
They open some casks and sing songs.
The castle rang with sound. Good sounds. Yet Kat could not share in their happiness. And she goes up to her father's solar.
Yes.
And finds a map of the Riverlands and she finds the Red Fork and follows it down.
This is where she thinks that Tywin's probably made it to about the Blackwater Rush.
Yep.
And she thinks to herself, like, if we're winning all these victories.
Yeah, the gods had granted them victory after victory. Stone Mill, at Oxcross, in the Battle of the Camps, Whispering Wood. But...
yeah, if we are winning, why am I so afraid? Because she's got that intuition that they've got something wrong. Something's fucked here.
Is it intuition or the fact that she's literally seen a shadow stab Renly Baratheon and knows that that's a power that exists now?
I think that's always going to play into her stuff.
How do you combat that? Like, I can't
as a person in their world.
I can't imagine the helplessness.
Well, that's an incomprehensible thing, especially so.
So that's why I'm just kind of confused by why she's at like.
Well, you're going to be afraid for probably the next 30 years.
My lady, you have every fucking right to be afraid. Like, that could happen to you at any moment.
At any moment, this shadow could just fucking step out of a room and be like, hey, you're dead.
She believes it's Stannis, but she doesn't know the how, the why, the what. Like, yeah, there could be a shadow behind you that fucking like, that's a perfectly logical
You watched
reason.
Nothing kill a man.
You watched a shadow kill a man, yeah.
You have every right to be scared. I do think that the fear here specifically is coming from the fact that she's poring over these maps. She's studying this, and it's kind of clicking but not clicking. She's seeing that there's something going on. He's heading to King's Landing.
Yeah.
I think that news of Storm's End is kind of, there with her subconsciously. Oh, Storm's End was gone. That means Stannis is heading to King's Landing. That means Tywin's going to go back that up. But it's not those words coming to her. It's her kind of seeing that's what's happening, knowing that can lead to bad stuff. But like you said, Robb wanted him to get trapped. Can't happen now.
Yeah.
Because you stopped him from crossing the ford.
Yeah.
And
the mill that ground the mountain down.
Yeah. And
what a sweet song that'll be.
Yeah, because then Harrenhal was also a big part of that. They had mentioned that it was going to be the part that Tywin went to go back to it after he left, but it was taken by Roose, and he couldn't. So then he's stuck. They can't go down to King's Landing. They can't. And now you fucked that up. You fucked it all up, Edmure. So do you have an inductee?
I do, and it is Septon Osmond.
Dope.
The Septon that Kat would have gone to talk about Renly and everything. Just because... I think everybody needs that kind of person, but like, especially with what she wants to go to him too. Like I would have really liked to see that conversation.
Absolutely.
But like, just I don't know, it's the loss that imparts in Cat, that trusted person to go and bring this to unload this to, because she's walking around with someone who's seen it, but it's sort of that, like, you can't tell me what we saw any more than I can tell you what we
He is
saw.
basically her Maester Lewin.
And yeah, so he would just be that sage outside advice that she could go to.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just, with how, especially with this last bit, that I feel like that would be a question she would ask him.
Yeah.
If we're winning, why am I so afraid all the time? Like, what the fuck's going on? So yeah, Septon Osmond for being heavy in Cat's thoughts this chapter, after respects.
Rest in peace, bro.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yours?
I'm going to give mine to Sir Desmond Grell's squire.
The squire.
Yeah, because that guy had to make all those trips up to let her know
Victory,
that,
my lady.
there's shit, and he was all winded. He busted his ass running out to tell her that news, and she even gave him a little break. He relayed all the information. He walked her safely to the battlements, and he was explaining the situation up there of what she was seeing. This is what you're seeing. This is what's going on. So Desmond Grell's squire.
Right.
I don't know his name, so
I don't think he was
I
named.
don't think he needs a name.
Anyway, yeah, that's a good one. We did get an inductee from our favorite French fry, Julian, and he says Ned was gone now, and his secrets had all died with him. Simple, yet effective writing. Hi, America.
Hey.
What up?
That's about as educated as we get with our hi.
I want to point out the beautiful sight of fire, of the fire arrows from the second battle there. It made me think of the start of the Winterfell battle against the Army of the Dead in Season 8, Episode 3, Intense. As for my inductee, I never thought I would choose him to join the Brotherhood, but to congratulate him for what appears to have been a good strategy. So far. Oops. Edmure. I've always thought of him badly because of the show where he was only a foolish loser. Not only the show. But he got a few victories here and I'm impressed. Of course, Red Wedding, hashtag Edmure Rage, etc. But I wouldn't think that much of him anyway. We'll have another dude to whip at the Brotherhood. Good day to you, sirs. Valar Forcaris.
All right, so first of all, we're not brutal animals just whipping people. Jeez Louise,
Oh, no,
man.
with Edmure we are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fuck you, Edmure. So, no, it's a tough one to pick up on how impactful the wins, quote unquote, of this battle
This
are.
is a brilliant writing strategy. It's victory.
You're
after
like,
victory.
yes,
yeah, we
great,
won.
won.
We're winning.
And there's still that overhanging cat angst
yeah.
about the situation, but you don't know why.
And then when Rob reconvenes and tells you the plan of what he wanted, of Tywin getting caught, and then you think about the implications of that, he wouldn't make it to Blackwater to intervene for Stannis, and
yeah, so we'll just
everything going on.
haze Edmure for everybody that we've inducted, and then that'll be the purpose for him to be there, to get everybody's hazing out of the way.
But as always, Julian, we appreciate your inductee, even if it is Edmure. Everyone is welcome. No, thank you for writing in. We always love hearing from you.
Appreciate it.
If you, not if you know where you can reach us if you want to send inductees. If you would like to join us next episode, we're going to be reading Bran 6, jumping back up to Winterfell to deal with some green sight and potentially some Ironborn nonsense that could be coming that way. And so
Yeah, it's been a while since we've been up north.
Yeah,
there,
I'm excited
so.
for a good old Brandy chapter.
Brandy.
And so, yeah, join us for that. And then also, Patreon subscribers should be expecting the last of our Winds of Winter sample chapters to be coming out soon. So look forward to that. Send us your inductees for Brand 6.
If you haven't yet, go check out Isle of Faces with Sir Buckley. Look for us on that Sporcle Spectacular episode.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we will catch you on the next episode.
Valar Dar Harris.
Peace.